big news-making night as well. Meryl Streep making headlines with that speech taking on Donald Trump.
What was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity?
Meryl Streep's performance in a recent televised event has become one of the most talked about moments in contemporary political discourse, marking a turning point in the narrative surrounding President Donald Trump's administration. The event was nothing short of electrifying, as Streep demonstrated an incisive command of rhetoric, policy knowledge, and persuasive public speaking. In a dramatic confrontation that unfolded live on national television, she dismantled the president's arguments with precision, leaving many viewers both astonished and deeply reflective about the state of political debate in the nation. Her approach was methodical, drawing upon a wealth of research and evidence to expose inconsistencies in the president's narrative, and her performance ignited discussions that have since reverberated across political, social, and cultural spheres. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. At the heart of the event was a stark clash between two very different visions for the country. On one side stood President Trump, whose election victory over Kamala Harris in the 2024 cycle had been heralded by his supporters as a triumph of populism and a repudiation of the political establishment. On the other was Meryl Streep, an emerging figure known for her critical perspectives and articulate challenges to mainstream political rhetoric. As the event unfolded, Streep's calm demeanor and confident articulation of complex policy issues provided a stark contrast to the often bombastic and self-assured style of the newly elected president. The collision of these distinct approaches to political debate not only highlighted the ideological divide within the country, but also underscored the importance of substantive discourse in a time when sensationalism too often dominates the public arena. Streep's performance was characterized by an unwavering commitment to factual accuracy and an insistence on accountability. Rather than resorting to the familiar ad hominem attacks or inflammatory rhetoric, she employed a strategy that was rooted in historical context, detailed policy analysis, and logical reasoning. In doing so, she was able to expose the discrepancies between the president's past statements and his current policies, a contrast that resonated powerfully with an audience that was increasingly disillusioned by the erosion of trust in political leadership. This methodical deconstruction of arguments provided a blueprint for how public figures can hold their leaders accountable, demonstrating that clarity of thought and integrity in argumentation remain essential in the realm of public discourse. The impact of this event extends far beyond the immediate exchange on screen. It has ignited a broader conversation about the role of media in shaping political narratives, the responsibilities of leaders in a democratic society, and the evolving nature of political debate in an era defined by rapid information exchange and polarizing ideologies. The confrontation between Streep and President Trump has brought to the fore the critical need for rigorous, fact-based dialogue, and it has raised important questions about how political leaders can maintain credibility in the face of persistent challenges from informed and articulate critics. The implications of this moment are profound, as they suggest a potential shift in the standards by which public debate is conducted and received by an increasingly skeptical electorate. The event also sheds light on the dynamics of political communication in a digital age, where the speed and breadth of information dissemination have transformed how public opinion is formed. In previous decades, a single televised debate might have influenced opinions for a short period, but today, moments like these are quickly amplified through social media, blogs, and online forums, reaching millions of viewers almost instantaneously. The viral spread of clips from the debate not only underscores the power of digital platforms in shaping political narratives, but also highlights the challenges that come with navigating a landscape where every word and gesture can be scrutinized, dissected, and replayed ad infinitum. This new reality places enormous pressure on public figures to perform not just as leaders, but as master communicators who are always prepared for the rapid-fire pace of modern media scrutiny. One of the most striking aspects of Streep's performance was her ability to connect with a diverse audience. Despite the highly charged political atmosphere, her delivery managed to appeal to viewers across the ideological spectrum, tapping into a shared desire for truth and accountability. This broad appeal is significant in an era where political polarization has deepened and conversations often occur within echo chambers that reinforce pre-existing beliefs. By addressing the issues with a measured and informed approach, Streep not only challenged the president's narrative, but also provided a framework for constructive dialogue that transcends partisan divides. Her performance has become a reference point for those seeking to understand how effective communication can bridge ideological gaps and foster a more inclusive and informed public debate. The implications of the event extend into the realm of political strategy as well. The success of Streep's approach has prompted political analysts and strategists to reconsider the tools and techniques that can be used to counter populist rhetoric. It has become increasingly clear that the future of political debate may hinge on the ability to combine emotional appeal with factual accuracy, creating a narrative that resonates on both an intellectual and emotional level. This hybrid approach could prove essential in an era where misinformation and half-truths have become commonplace, and where the ability to sift through the noise and identify core issues is more critical than ever. In this context, the confrontation between Streep and the president serves as a case study in how skilled communicators can elevate public discourse and reintroduce a sense of integrity into the political arena. The event also highlights the evolving role of dissent and critique in democratic societies. Historically, dissent has been a crucial element in holding power to account and fostering a vibrant, dynamic political culture. In this instance, Streep's actions can be seen as a reaffirmation of this tradition, challenging the authority of a leader who, despite his electoral victory, had accumulated a significant number of critics both within and outside his political base. Her willingness to speak out, even in the face of formidable opposition, is a testament to the enduring power of free expression and the importance of safeguarding the right to dissent. This moment has, in many ways, reinvigorated a spirit of critical inquiry that is essential to the functioning of a healthy democracy. Furthermore, the event invites reflection on the role of personal integrity in public life. Streep's performance was marked by a sense of purpose and a commitment to the truth that stood in stark contrast to the often self-serving rhetoric of contemporary political figures. This commitment to honesty and transparency resonates with a public that is increasingly wary of the manipulations of political spin and the distortions of reality that can accompany the pursuit of power. The emphasis on integrity in this high-stakes confrontation serves as a reminder that leadership is not merely about winning elections or achieving short-term victories. It is about the long-term responsibility to uphold principles that sustain the trust and confidence of the people. Another layer of significance emerges when considering the broader historical context of political debates. Throughout history, moments of intense public confrontation have often served as catalysts for significant change, challenging established norms and setting the stage for new paradigms in governance and public discourse. The exchange between Streep and President Trump can be viewed in this light, as a moment that may well signal a shift in how political power is contested and exercised in the modern era. It invites comparisons to previous eras when incisive public challenges led to profound transformations in policy and leadership. In this sense, the event is not an isolated incident, but part of a continuum in which the voices of determined critics have played a vital role in shaping the course of history. The dynamics of the confrontation also provide a window into the current state of American political culture. At a time when the nation is deeply divided along ideological lines, moments of clear, articulate challenge to established authority are both rare and invaluable. Streep's ability to articulate a vision of accountability and reason offers a counterbalance to the often hyperbolic rhetoric that has come to characterize much of today's political dialogue. Her performance stands as a beacon for those who believe that political discourse should be rooted in facts, reason, and a genuine commitment to the public good, rather than in the pursuit of personal or partisan gain. This insistence on a higher standard of debate is a crucial development, one that may help to restore faith in the institutions of democracy and reinvigorate public engagement with the political process. The event also forces a confrontation with the nature of leadership itself. In an era where charisma and the ability to captivate an audience have often been prized above all else, Steep's approach challenges the notion that effective leadership is synonymous with rhetorical flourish or sheer force of personality. Instead, she demonstrated that true leadership can emerge from a deep understanding of the issues at hand, coupled with a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. This redefinition of leadership has far-reaching implications, suggesting that the qualities that have traditionally been celebrated in political figures may need to be reassessed in light of contemporary challenges. The emphasis on accountability, transparency, and intellectual rigor may well become the new benchmarks for evaluating political leaders in the years to come. The ramifications of this televised confrontation are likely to be felt on multiple levels within the political system. One significant impact is the potential shift in how political debates are structured and conducted. The success of Steep's methodical approach could encourage future challengers to adopt similar strategies, placing a greater emphasis on detailed policy analysis and rigorous fact-checking during public exchanges. This evolution in debate style may contribute to a gradual transformation of the political landscape, where the focus shifts away from sensationalism and towards substantive policy discussions that better serve the needs of a well-informed electorate. Such a shift would represent a welcome return to the fundamentals of democratic dialogue, where the merits of an argument are judged not by its theatricality, but by its adherence to truth and logical coherence. The incident has also sparked discussions about the role of media in amplifying or tempering such confrontations. With the event being broadcast live and quickly disseminated through various digital platforms, questions have arisen about how media coverage influences public perception and political momentum. The rapid circulation of video clips and social media posts has ensured that every nuance of the exchange is subject to intense scrutiny and debate. This phenomenon highlights the power of modern media to shape political narratives, as well as the responsibilities that come with such influence. Media organizations now face the challenge of balancing the need to report on events in real time with the imperative to provide context and analysis that help viewers understand the deeper implications of what they are witnessing. In examining the broader implications of the event, it is also important to consider its potential impact on the upcoming political cycle. The president's victory over Kamala Harris in the 2024 election was itself a significant political milestone, one that reflected deep-seated sentiments among certain segments of the electorate. However, the public display of vulnerability and the subsequent dismantling of his positions by Steep have introduced a new dynamic into the political equation. Political operatives and strategists are now grappling with the realization that the traditional tools of populist rhetoric may not be sufficient to maintain support in an era where informed and articulate critique can quickly undermine established narratives. This development could lead to a recalibration of campaign strategies, with greater emphasis being placed on policy depth and consistency rather than on broad, emotionally charged appeals. The intellectual rigor displayed by Steep during the confrontation has also served to elevate the discourse around political accountability. In an age when misinformation and alternative facts have sometimes muddied the waters of public understanding, her performance provided a clear and compelling example of how evidence-based arguments can cut through the noise. This emphasis on verifiable facts and logical reasoning is a vital countermeasure to the trend of political posturing that often sidelines genuine debate. By demanding that political figures engage with the substance of their claims rather than relying on sound bites and slogans, the event has set a new standard for what should be expected in public discourse. This, in turn, could foster a more informed and engaged citizenry, one that is better equipped to hold its leaders accountable and demand higher standards of governance. There is also a profound cultural dimension to the event that speaks to the evolving nature of public engagement with politics. The confrontation was not simply a political debate, it was a moment that resonated with deeper questions about truth, authority, and the very fabric of democratic society. The way in which Steep approached the discussion, grounded in principles of fairness, clarity, and intellectual honesty, struck a chord with individuals from a wide range of backgrounds. This broad appeal underscores the fact that, despite the intense partisan divides that often characterize contemporary political life, there remains a shared commitment among many to the ideals of transparency and accountability. In this sense, The event can be seen as a rallying cry for a more thoughtful and deliberate public discourse, one that privileges substance over spectacle and encourages a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. The intellectual and moral force of the confrontation also casts a long shadow over the political landscape, raising important questions about the nature of power and the responsibilities of those who wield it. The president, having secured his position through a contentious and hard-fought election, now faces the challenge of governing in a context where his authority is increasingly questioned by well-informed and articulate critics. The event has revealed vulnerabilities in his approach to leadership, suggesting that the kind of unilateral populist rhetoric that has defined much of his career may no longer be sufficient to command respect and loyalty from an increasingly discerning public. In this environment, the ability to engage in robust evidence-based debate is emerging as a critical factor in determining political legitimacy. Streep's performance, therefore, represents not just a momentary victory, but a potential harbinger of a new era in political communication, one in which accountability and transparency are paramount. As the nation contemplates the implications of what unfolded on that televised stage, it is clear that the event has already begun to influence public opinion and shape the discourse surrounding political leadership. The clarity with which Streep articulated her arguments has served as a stark reminder of the importance of intellectual rigor and honesty in public debate. For many, her performance has become a symbol of the power of informed critique to challenge entrenched authority and demand a higher standard of accountability. This shift in expectations is likely to have long-term consequences for how political figures conduct themselves, as the pressures of an ever more informed electorate force leaders to reconsider the tactics they employ in pursuit of political power. At the same time, the event has also exposed the deep fissures that continue to define American politics. The stark contrast between the methods and ideologies represented by Streep and President Trump is emblematic of a broader struggle over the soul of the nation, an ongoing battle between the forces of truth and accountability and those that rely on spectacle and populist appeals. This dynamic is not confined to the realm of televised debates. It is reflected in the daily interactions and discussions that take place in communities, workplaces, and online platforms across the country. The confrontation has, in many ways, laid bare the fault lines that divide the nation, challenging individuals to confront uncomfortable questions about loyalty, truth, and the role of leadership in a democracy. The ripple effects of this historic exchange are likely to be felt in a variety of settings, from the halls of government to the forums of civic engagement. Political scientists and scholars are already examining the event as a case study in modern political communication, analyzing the strategies employed by both sides and the implications for future political contests. The analytical discourse that has emerged in the wake of the event is a testament to its significance, highlighting the need for a more sophisticated understanding of how public debates are conducted in an age defined by rapid technological change and shifting social norms. This ongoing analysis serves as a reminder that moments of intense public confrontation are not merely ephemeral spectacles, but critical junctures that can redefine the parameters of political discourse for years to come. Central to the narrative of the event is the idea that true political power is not solely derived from the ability to mobilize large segments of the electorate, but also from the capacity to engage in meaningful, fact-driven dialogue that transcends partisan boundaries. Streep's performance exemplified this principle, demonstrating that the strength of an argument is measured not by its volume or virality, but by its clarity, consistency, and adherence to truth. This realization has far-reaching implications for the future of political engagement, suggesting that the skills and strategies that are most effective in today's media-saturated environment may be quite different from those that dominated previous eras. The event, therefore, serves as a pivotal moment in the evolution of political strategy, one that may well influence the way future leaders approach the challenges of governance and public accountability. In the wake of the televised confrontation, the broader political community has been forced to reckon with the implications of a new paradigm in public debate. The traditional markers of political success, charisma, bombast, and the ability to command a crowd, are increasingly giving way to a more nuanced appreciation for analytical depth and intellectual rigor. This shift is not merely academic. It has practical consequences for how political campaigns are run, how policies are debated, and how citizens are able to engage with the issues that affect their lives. As the electorate becomes more discerning and less tolerant of superficial arguments, the pressure on public figures to provide substantive, well-reasoned explanations for their positions will only intensify. The legacy of Streep's performance may well be that it has set a new benchmark for the standards of public debate, one that prioritizes truth and accountability over spectacle and performance. The event has also sparked a broader cultural conversation about the nature of dissent in a democracy. In many ways, the confrontation was a microcosm of the larger struggle between the forces that seek to preserve the status quo and those that demand radical change. The success of Streep's challenge to the president's narrative has emboldened a segment of the population that has long felt marginalized by the dominant political discourse, offering a renewed sense of hope that even entrenched power structures can be questioned and reformed. This reawakening of civic engagement is a crucial development in an era when many citizens feel disillusioned by the complexities of modern governance. The demonstration of courage and intellectual clarity has, for some, become a symbol of the possibility of change, a beacon of light in an often dark and turbulent political landscape. Beyond the immediate sphere of politics, the event resonates on a human level, touching on universal themes of truth, justice, and the search for meaning in a complex world. It challenges individuals to consider the importance of critical thinking and the role that informed debate plays in fostering a society where every voice is valued and every claim is subject to scrutiny. In an age marked by rapid technological change and the proliferation of information, the ability to discern truth from falsehood has never been more important. The confrontation between Streep and President Trump serves as a powerful reminder that the struggle for truth is a fundamental aspect of human progress, one that transcends political allegiances and speaks to the very core of what it means to live in a free and open society. The implications of this moment extend to the ways in which future generations will approach political engagement. Young people, who are increasingly disenchanted with traditional political structures, are looking for new models of leadership that emphasize integrity, transparency, and accountability. The legacy of this event may well lie in its ability to inspire a new wave of political activism, a movement that prioritizes thoughtful analysis and evidence-based debate over the simplistic appeals of populism. As these young leaders enter the political arena, the lessons gleaned from this confrontation could serve as a guide for how to challenge established norms and push for a more equitable and rational political order. There is also an international dimension to consider when examining the significance of the event. In a global context, the confrontation between Streep and President Trump has been observed with great interest by political analysts and leaders from around the world. The principles of accountability, transparency, and informed debate that were so powerfully demonstrated on screen are universal values that resonate across cultural and political boundaries. For countries grappling with similar challenges, whether it be the rise of populist movements or the erosion of trust in traditional institutions, the event offers important insights into how democratic processes can be revitalized through the infusion of rigor and integrity into public discourse. The international community is watching closely, recognizing that the evolution of political communication in one nation can have far-reaching effects on the norms and practices of governance globally. The encounter also serves as a reminder of the enduring power of ideas and the transformative potential of courageous public discourse. It is a testament to the fact that even in an era dominated by rapid media cycles and fleeting attention spans, moments of profound intellectual engagement can leave an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. Streep's performance has reinvigorated debates about the nature of political power and the responsibilities that come with it, inspiring not only her supporters but also those who had grown weary of the repetitive and often superficial nature of contemporary political debate. The event has redefined what it means to engage in public discourse, suggesting that the true measure of a leader lies not in their ability to command attention, but in their capacity to inspire reflection, challenge assumptions, and ultimately elevate the quality of the conversation. In reflecting on the intricate tapestry of events that converged during that unforgettable televised moment, it becomes clear that the implications of the confrontation are both wide-ranging and deeply significant. The event has catalyzed a re-examination of how political legitimacy is constructed and maintained, challenging long-held assumptions about the interplay between charisma and substance in public life. The spirited exchange has cast a long shadow over the established practices of political communication, prompting a critical reassessment of the methods by which leaders engage with the public and the media. It has underscored the importance of intellectual discipline and the relentless pursuit of truth as essential pillars of effective governance in an era characterized by rapid change and evolving expectations. The transformative nature of the encounter has also sparked a renewed interest in the principles that underpin democratic institutions. By laying bare the vulnerabilities of a political system that often prioritizes style over substance, the event has opened up new avenues for rethinking how accountability and transparency can be woven into the fabric of governance. This renewed focus on foundational values has the potential to reshape not only the strategies employed by political figures, but also the very structure of political discourse itself, fostering an environment in which the search for truth is elevated above partisan rivalries and fleeting political gains. In the final analysis, the confrontation between Meryl Streep and President Donald Trump stands as a vivid illustration of the power of ideas and the enduring relevance of principled debate in shaping the destiny of a nation. It is a moment that encapsulates the tension between old and new paradigms of leadership, highlighting the transformative potential of articulate, evidence-based critique. The event is a call to all those who believe in the power of truth to inspire change, a reminder that the principles of accountability, transparency, and intellectual rigor are not relics of a bygone era, but living ideals that continue to define the aspirations of a democratic society. As the nation moves forward, the echoes of that confrontation will undoubtedly serve as a guiding light for those who seek to build a more thoughtful, just, and inclusive political landscape. The legacy of this event is poised to influence the future of political engagement, not merely as a moment of high drama, but as a catalyst for substantive change in how political debates are conducted and how leaders are held accountable. It underscores the need for a renewed commitment to the ideals of critical inquiry and reasoned argumentation, values that are essential in an age marked by complexity and rapid change. The confrontation between Meryl Streep and President Trump is a reminder that, regardless of the power one may hold, the pursuit of truth remains the most potent force in the arena of public life. In this light, the event is not simply a dramatic moment on live television, but a pivotal juncture in the ongoing evolution of political discourse. A moment that challenges us all to rethink the ways in which we engage with the ideas and issues that shape our world. The encounter has, in many respects, become a watershed moment that encapsulates the tensions, contradictions, and aspirations of contemporary political life. It serves as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration, a vivid reminder that the power of words, when wielded with intelligence and integrity, has the capacity to alter the very fabric of our political landscape. In a time when the truth is often obscured by the allure of spectacle, the measured and thoughtful critique delivered by Meryl Streep offers a refreshing vision of what public debate can and should be. Her performance is a call to re-engage with the foundational principles of transparency, accountability, and reason. A call that resonates with the hopes and aspirations of a society yearning for leaders who are as committed to the truth as they are to the pursuit of power. This turning point in political discourse, marked by the dramatic dismantling of the president's narrative, invites a broader reflection on the evolving role of public criticism in a democratic society. It challenges traditional notions of power and authority, suggesting that the true measure of leadership lies not in the ability to command attention through rhetoric alone, but in the capacity to inspire thoughtful reflection and to hold oneself accountable to the highest standards of truth and integrity. As the nation looks to the future, the lessons of this event will undoubtedly shape the contours of political debate, influencing the strategies of both current leaders and those who aspire to follow in their footsteps. In sum, the dramatic and unforgettable confrontation between Meryl Streep and President Donald Trump has set the stage for a reimagining of political debate and leadership in the modern era. By exposing the vulnerabilities inherent in a style of governance built on populist rhetoric and emotional appeals, the event has underscored the critical importance of factual accuracy, intellectual integrity, and a commitment to truth. It has challenged not only the president's narrative, but also the very conventions of political communication, inviting a renewed commitment to the ideals that have long defined Democratic engagement. The legacy of this moment will continue to reverberate throughout the political landscape, serving as a powerful reminder of the transformative potential of articulate, principled critique in the ongoing struggle for a more just and accountable society. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Meryl Streep's reaction to Trump's victory over Harris? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.